Once upon a time, there was a small mountain town called Hammersville, and everyone got along very well. Until the time when the Smith and the Jones families had a big feud. The big feud continued for 4 generations. People forgot why they were even feuding, including the Smiths and the Jones. But one day, 6-year-old Angela Smith came across a new book at the library called Who Was That Baby? Eyebrow Shapes 1. She was fascinated by the faces in the book. There were faces from around the world, faces of all different colors. She never knew that people could look so different from her, and they were all so beautiful. Angela dreamed about the beautiful faces and went back to the library to get the next book, Eyebrow Shapes 2, and then she finished the book in 1 hour flat. She memorized the faces and dreamed about them, and looked around in her community at the faces around her. Their eyebrows came alive, and it delighted her immensely. She went back to the library to get more books. She got Who Was That Baby? Eye Shapes 1 and Eye Shapes 2. And the same thing happened. The faces were all so beautiful. She was fascinated by them. Faces of all different colors. She saw people who looked so different and so beautiful. She dreamed about the beautiful faces. And then she went back to the library to get more books. She got the Who Was That Baby? Forehead Shapes 1 and 2. And again, the faces became alive for her. Every time she looked at a face, she was in awe. They were so beautiful. And then she couldn't help herself. Whenever the awe about the beauty in a face struck her, she would tell the person what was so beautiful about their face. And the people's hearts melted right in front of her. And then, one day, Angela Smith saw Henry Jones, another 8-year-old in Hammersville. She knew she wasn't supposed to talk to him, but didn't know why. But his face came alive to her, and she saw beauty in his face. She couldn't help herself. She had to rush over and tell him.
Wow! Awesome! It's so cool! Your face is so handsome!
At first he didn't want to listen, but she said such kind words to him that he had to listen.
I'm really handsome?
Yes, you have a sweetheart forehead. That means you can only be sweet.
A sweetheart forehead?
Yes, and you have angels hugging you on your hairline.
Angels hugging me? Wow, I'm important.
And your eyebrows are triangular. They match your triangular eyes. It's so awesome.
Henry ran off to tell his parents what had happened.
Mom, Dad, I have a sweetheart forehead, and I can only be sweet. That's what a girl told me today.
He didn't mention Angela's name, but they noticed he had changed. He behaved better, happier more often, and he didn't fight with his other brothers and sisters. Then one day they found out it was Angela, from the Smith family they were feuding with. The Joneses had a big family reunion to decide what to do about it. Everyone commented on the personality change in Henry, and they all voted to stop the feud. They invited Angela and her parents over to their mountain log cabin. Her parents were scared to meet them, but Angela wasn't afraid at all. Angela told each one of them how beautiful they really were and listed each of their facial characteristics to them. And one by one, they broke down and cried. "No one ever told me I was beautiful before," each one said. They all felt so good, and the feud ended. Angela's parents were totally amazed at the entire transformation. The Joneses were people she could now sit down with and have a cup of coffee. They became friends for the next 2 generations up until today. And the mountain town flourished. It became known as the friendliest town on earth. People smiled all the time, and they knew each other's worth and value and saw each other as amazing. It all started with Angela and that first book in the library. Who Was That Baby? Eyebrow Shapes 1. Your child can be instrumental in changing the world, one face at a time too. Who Was That Baby? Eyebrow Shapes 1. Transform the world for and with your child. Allow them to only see beauty in faces around them from now on. Then, think about it. What would it be like when beauty is revealed everywhere your child walks? Who was that baby? Eyebrows, eyes, foreheads. There's more to come.
I love it.
And so do I.